How do you plan and organize the creation of content?
Again, I think the question is a little bit misleading, because how do you organize a go-to-market activity is really the question. How do you organize any marketing activity? And I don't think you should change drastically your preparations for a successful marketing activity or a successful communications activity. What I think here is about looking at how you should do it and the tools that you should be using, the people that should assist you in doing it. Maybe a couple of journalists would be a good way of going about this job, rather than the traditional art director or copywriter. So the question is, again, we have a topic, or we have a brand, we have a proposition, we have an issue that we would like to bring to market. How do we get people to talk about it? Again, the focus is dialogue and interacting with your stakeholders, with your customers, when and where they decide to talk to you about this. You should engage with that like you do in any other communication activity, and prepare carefully based on insight.
So you make a plan, just as in any other marketing, and the plan is largely based on dialogue. What then do you do with your plan if all of a sudden the audience, the customers, start talking about something entirely different?
Well, that's a very, very good point. Now you're talking about execution. You can plan all you want, but it's really about being present in real time. If you don't have a setup that is ongoing and existing in real time, you're going to fail. And that goes without saying. Of course, what we've traditionally done is planning a marketing campaign, sending it off, and sitting back and waiting for what happened. So what I'm talking about is preparing carefully, because when you prepare carefully, you will limit the amount of things that could go wrong potentially. But in content marketing, in social media, when engaging with people in real time, things take a ton of different directions. If you're not able to prepare for that, if you don't have a more than editorial setup to handle these things, you will fail. So communication is not a send-off and a wait. Communication is an ongoing activity in real time for the company.
So in a corporate world where lots of things have to be approved by heads of this function or the other function, how do you then secure that you are adequately agile to change the course of direction when the customers start talking about something different than planned?
Well, when it comes to dialogue with stakeholders, look what some of the best has done. If you take a company like Dell, Dell has educated everybody from the top down in the company to be able to handle dialogue with their stakeholders and their customers. Because if a company needs to be customer-centric, and the actions and the communication needs to take place in real time, you can't have any missing links in that chain. So of course, it's also about having that understanding at a very, very high level, I would say the highest level of the company, and at that level either is actively participating, however that should work, or giving the mandate to people that can speak on their behalf. If you don't have that, it's going to be a catastrophe.
Going back to content that you've actually planned on beforehand, how do you see the shift between what should and could be produced internally and what do you think is best outsourced or left to external partners to provide?
You know what, it really depends on the size and the economic capability of the company. If you are a big company, you see a tendency at the moment where these competencies are taken in-house. Because, again, more and more CEOs gets the understanding and understands the necessity of having a strong communication arm as part of their internal setup. But again, a lot of companies can't afford that. So it's a matter of really surrounding yourself with the right type of consultants, the right type of advisors that will provide you a nimble and agile setup for real-time dialogue with your stakeholders in any way, shape, or form that fits you and the kind of dialogue you would like to have with your stakeholders and your customers.